Hi, everyone. Hello. Hi, I'm just going to give it a minute for some of our followers to join. This is Marina Shepelsky, immigration attorney, coming to you live from New Jersey, and our office is in New York. I'm going to find my, hi there, my Instagram feed and turn off the sound so I could read the comments on my screen with you guys. Great. Going to travel to Paris tonight with my kids. My little kids, the two 14-year-olds. I have twins. They're 14. So the two 14-year-olds graduated from 8th grade, and we are going to celebrate. We're going to Europe. UK says good morning on YouTube. Okay. Guys, I have so much news. I don't even know where to start with you today. All right. Okay, I'm gonna start with the biggest news, which is of course, President Trump, former President Trump, was now indicted on federal charges. Now, he is very confident and hopeful of becoming the next president, and the establishment is doing their best to stop him. Whether you like Trump or not, which I don't, I actually do not like Trump. I really can't stand him. He was terrible for immigration. But you have to admit that what's happening is very concerning for the democracy of this country. Now, it came out that Biden and his son were taking corruption bribes from Ukraine. It also came out that Trump improperly kept classified documents in his house and didn't tell about them to the FBI people. They're both bad and both deserve to be punished. But the fact that one is being punished for a lesser crime and the other, while in office as a vice president, took bribes like we are a freaking banana republic, like this is Cuba or Russia, okay? That is very concerning. And I like Biden and his administration and what they've done for immigrants. But come on, we have to live in this country. We're not just here to visit for a little bit. We're going to be staying here. Our kids live here. The democracy is suffering. The democracy that we have is just bad what's happening. James says hello from Seattle on YouTube. It's very nice of you to say hello, James. Guys, if you have any immigration questions, please post them below. And we work through consultations. So if you decide you like what you hear, you want to work with our firm, I'm one of a team of lawyers. We all do consultations. We all work on your cases together. I'm the leader, of course, and they always ask me for very difficult questions that we need to resolve. I'm the final decision maker, but I trust the lawyers we work with. I trust their judgment. I think they're great. So if you call us, you'll have a consultation with one of our attorneys. It's paid, and we can help you. Let's move on with the news. So we talked about Trump. Let's move on to the other big news. This has to do with USCIS. USCIS has expanded their expedited processing, their quicker processing. So for students who are here already in US and already have F1 or F2 or M1 or M2 or J1 or J2 visa, they will now be able to file a form 907 request for premium processing. Premium is like fancy expedited processing. And with that processing, they will have to pay $1,750 to get the extension of the F1, F2, M1, M2, J1, or J2 visa, and they will hear back from USCIS within 3 weeks. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to get approved automatically, but they can expedite their case. So instead of 13 months, it's going to be 3 weeks. And this is telling us, guys. Oh, and by the way, besides the fact that it's going to be expedited, if they send a request for evidence, you get to talk to a human being, and you know who the officer is working on your case, and you can call them and ask them questions. This means all the time these people, USCIS, were able to work on your case and get it done in 3 weeks, right? It's just insane. But listen, this is good news and bad news. The good news is if you're really short for time as a student, you can now do your extension to your new school program in 3 weeks. The bad news is it's like extortion. So if you're a student waiting for 13 months, it's super hard. You're going to lose your program. You're going to lose your status. Usually people file 4 months, 3 months before the expiration of their visa. So this is really going to be almost like a necessary thing to do for students in US. And they're only limiting this to the people who already filed or will be filing after June 26th. And after June 26th, you can do it from scratch. So just when you're filing the extension, immediately you include the expediting or premium processing form and the fee right with your packet. If you filed already, they will accept Form 907 requests, like expediting premium processing requests for things that are pending already. After June 26th, everyone will be able to do it who is filing for the extension of the F1 or the J1 and so on. Now, they're also saying that if you sent it online, you should do your form for expediting I-907 online. If you sent it by paper, you should do it by paper because the online processing is, by the way, already much quicker. And also, it's a separate process from when you do it by form and the paper. So, whatever format you used already, you should stick with the same format. And also you need to do biometrics before your premium processing can begin. So they might ask you to go and do fingerprints and then start expediting. All right. So that was really big. It's one of the first times that they're really starting to use these for regular people because usually it's like for investors, for employers, these expediting processing things. But now they're starting to use them for just regular immigrants, and that's a really good news. Some questions are coming, guys. Keep posting your questions. As soon as I'm done with the news, which I'm going to do for another maybe 5 minutes, I'll start answering your questions live. All right, let's see what else is in immigration news. So, TPS is back for El Salvador, Honduras, Nepal, and Nicaragua. So if you're here from El Salvador, Honduras, Nepal, and Nicaragua, you will get the extension of your TPS for 18 months. And you'll be in good shape. They canceled prior administration's ending of TPS. Now it's back. All right. Interesting thing I read on Twitter yesterday by this guy. I'm gonna open this link so I can give you the exact information. So this guy, he does research about immigration and immigration law, and he's so well respected that people quote him and use his information when they do like cases, when they publish articles in the Supreme Court, in Congress, and oh, it's not here. Let me find this. I just wanted to tell you because it's interesting. The statistics that he shows and he does research on this are unbelievable about how difficult it is to immigrate to US. I have a link here. So here's the article. The author's name is it's called Cato. The organization is called Cato, CATO. Um, and it's a big organization about research. It's a nonprofit about research for immigration, right? His name is David Beer, and this was published yesterday. So this was on Twitter. I actually went and read this article. Why legal immigration is nearly impossible to US today. So a lot of Americans, these are the people who support that crazy new DeSantis Florida law that makes it like unlawful and criminal to bring illegals across Florida state lines, and illegals now can get treatment from hospitals in Florida, and it's illegal to employ illegals. Like it makes it super draconian for anybody to even talk to or treat or work with illegals. The problem is that the people who are supporting of this law and Trump and all his restrictions do not understand two things. First of all, they really don't understand the difference between legal and illegal immigration. And the reason I know that is because some people who have a US employment authorization are still getting hassled. People still don't think they're legal because they don't have a green card. So many people, if you don't have a green card, you're illegal. But the thing is, you and I know there's so many ways to be legal and documented, but not yet have a green card, or maybe just generally don't have a green card. So even sometimes I have clients who are waiting for asylum, get arrested, put in ICE custody for no reason. They didn't violate any laws. They're not illegal. They didn't do a crime. But because they don't have a green card, ICE books them and puts them in immigration jail. And usually this happens when they're driving somewhere along the border, or they get like stopped in a bus somewhere, just randomly picked up when there's ICE checks, right? Checkups. So people don't really understand the difference between legal and illegal, first of all. And second of all, and this is what this article is about, is that it is people don't understand. They think, oh, there's so many people, they're coming and going, they can do whatever they want. It is impossible. If you look at the percentages and the numbers to legalize in US, there's so few ways to do it. So basically, this is official research people did. And they said today, fewer than 1% of people who want to move to US permanently can do that legally. So of all the people who are truly interested in immigrating, only less than 1% can legally do it. So our country has a legal network that doesn't allow for people to come here with a work visa if they want to, or whatever. Even if there's an employer who wants to employ them, they force you to hire, American, and not to bring in immigrants based on employment because of how the system is set up. They're saying it's just as hard right now to become legal here as to sell alcohol in the 20s during the prohibition, when it was illegal, basically. So many Americans have the false impression that these like exceptions and carve outs in the system are real options for potential immigrants to join American society, but they're not. And basically, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but they have a chart here that says 158 million of people have an interest in immigrant to US. Out of those people, only 32 million somehow started the process of legalizing asylum, family petitions, work petitions. Maybe they filed for a student visa, but they later want to legalize, right? So 158 million interested. Only 32 million filed the paperwork. Of those 32 million, less than 1 million will be approved. And usually it's through family, they're saying. So if you don't win through your family, you're screwed because there's really no other option. And I'm not saying it's in one state. I'm saying in all the 50 states, taking all of the cases, the court cases, the filings with the USCIS, less than 1% people get green card. So the odds are so low. It's so hard to come here. And that is why we have so many illegals, because there's no way for undocumented people to legalize legally and find an existing way to do this. So this research proves what we've been saying all along, but this is now official, and hopefully people in Congress who make laws will listen to this. All right, what else? Okay, one more news. People who are filing for parole will now be able to file for parole online, and they will file the I-131 online. So that's the new thing for USCIS. Let's see what else is in the news. Again, post your questions. I'm going to get to them in a few minutes. It's just that a lot today. A lot is in the news. Interesting thing. I don't know if you guys follow Prince Harry, the British prince who moved to California with Meghan Markle. She's a U.S. citizen. So he wrote a book where he admitted to using drugs, illegal drugs, with some, actors like Courtney Cox, and basically admitted to using drugs. And this organization has filed with U.S. immigration asking them to deport him because he admitted to using drugs. He's an immigrant here, just like anybody else. And they're saying that, hey, he should leave. He used drugs. If this was somebody from El Salvador and they used drugs, they would be deported. All right. So, let's talk about the Dignity Act. I see some people already asking about it. So news about Dignity Act. So now, at the end of May, uh, the two parties, both Republicans and Democrats, came out saying that they're interested in passing this type of reform. But they're interested in other things too. It would be a bill, which is a proposed or suggested law. They're interested in getting more funding for USCIS and Department of Homeland Security, especially at the border. They want to get DACA green cards. They want some of these really long visa lines, like when you're waiting for your brother or your sister, or green card holders who file for their adult single kids to be like less wait time, right? But besides that, what got everybody really, really interested in the news talking is like a legalization part of that. So they said that if you qualify, like no crimes, good moral character, you will pay a fine, and then you will get a 7-year status, like a pre-green card status, with work authorization, social, and advanced parole for travel. And you will have to pay not just the penalty of 5,000, but from your paychecks a levy, like a tax of 1.5% for this program. So not much has been in the news since then about that. So they said they'll start working on it, and they released almost a 500-page bill proposal, calling it the Dignity Act of 2023. And so basically, I just found some news talking about what life would be like if they get what they want in this law. So they're gonna crack down at the border, and they're saying that the Dignity program would give the undocumented people in the U.S. legal status, work, and advanced parole, and it could be renewed, and they would have to pay the 5,000. I'm just going over again what I said, but this article reviews it again. I'm looking at an article from newsnationnow.com. So anyone participating in this program would be required to pay $5,000 over the $5,000 over the course of 7 years. So it's not all at once, but in small payments over the 7 years. And they think it would help about 11 million people. In reality, I think it's more like 19 million people. And after that, they would get a green card. And then after 5 years, they would get US citizenship. Now, how would they? So now I got a lot of questions about asylum. Like if you have filed for asylum, you're still waiting. Will you qualify, right? Um, so this new Dignity Act doesn't really say about who would qualify, but it does say that if so the people who are entering at the border, if found eligible for asylum, would get a parole to allow them to travel to US. And then inside US, so this is like how it's going to look like if this Dignity Act passes. Inside the US, the Dignity Act of 2023 will provide a screening process to determine whether an asylum applicant meets the credible fear standard. That's a special standard to show in asylum. Then you will get that interview within the first 15 days of your arrival. And if you prove the credible fear, then you will have your results within 45 days. And that's that. And US visa services would undergo several changes. They're going to increase some of these visas. Anyway, there's more visas, less wait time for the relatives categories. It doesn't say what happens to people already here who are waiting for asylum, people who are deported. We will see. So it's just a proposal right now. So that's all I have to say. So I'm going to get to your questions now because I see you guys have a lot of questions. Michael asks, hi, Marina, will the Dignity Act pass and how long will it take to become law? Nobody knows how long. Usually it takes, a few months. So hopefully by the end of this year or early next year, what's going to happen is first it's going to go to House of Representatives. They will discuss it. They will probably make a lot of changes in it. They will debate on it. They will meet on it. They will be meeting with different groups and seeing who wants to change what. It's a political game. They do exchanges of information and favors and this and that. At the end, they vote on it. If it passes, it goes to Senate. The Senate looks at it. They make changes. Then they say, okay, this is the final law, and they give it to the president to sign. If he signs it, then it becomes law. Okay. Hello from Seattle. We did that already. Okay, we did that. Limber says, hello, Miss Marina. I applied for VAWA since April 2022. Nothing came yet. I'm from Florida. Limber, it's taking 33 months. And the reason I know that, I go to uscis.gov. And I'm going to share my screen for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now you can see what I'm doing. I go to uscis.gov. I go here to check processing times. I look for the form for VAWA, which is I-360. The basis for it is Violence Against Women Act VAWA, and it's in the Vermont Service Center, and it's taking 34 months. So you're not going to hear anything for another year or two. I know it's very stressful, but if you filed with your VAWA for a green card, your lawyer should have gotten you a work permit and advance parole, so you can leave and come back. But not everyone is eligible, of course. Like if you, for example, if you had a prior deportation order, you can't leave. You're going to have to stay here and wait for your green card. Okay, so I'm just going to stop sharing. Mr. Mohit says, hello, ma'am. My attorney filed my I-360 VAWA in January. By my I-485 and advance parole I-131 were filed in May, but I didn't get the receipt. It takes them a while sometimes, okay? I know they're delayed, but they will send you a receipt. In May was only like 2-3 weeks ago. You will get the receipt, don't worry. Let me see what's going on Instagram. Hi, my Instagram people. I have Instagram on my screen too. So, okay. So Lola Muamia is asking me to talk about the proposed bill, another proposed law to give Ukrainians green cards. So that's already registered as a proposed bill, a proposed law. They will be talking about it and they will be discussing it. And I haven't seen anything else in the news about it. So we'll see how it progresses. We'll see. Uh, Gwendo6604 says, hi, how are you? Summit Noir on Instagram says, enjoy your vacation. Thank you very much. I shall enjoy my vacation. Um, oh my God, somebody Il Naulmo 0007 says, hello, we were neighbors in Kiev. Wow, that's crazy. Can you text me in my messages with your full name? I would love to talk to you, please. I see my daughter Nicole Komar is watching me on Instagram. Hi, Nicole. Here's a question from Yarik Stolar, Russian-speaking person, but he's writing in English, so of course I will respond. Hey, so I've been ordered to get deported to Ukraine 1 year ago. I was released from immigration facility last June. The reason for my deportation order is that I got indicted and had to do some time. How can I stop the deportation order? And my indictment was for conspiracy to distribute and distribution. Yadik, I'm not sure, but you might be able, first of all, to get TPS. As far as your deportation order, I don't think you can do anything else for now. So let's see what happens. File the TPS application. If you haven't, you'll get a work permit and a social, and we go from there. Suma Kedan on Instagram wants to know how I became an immigration attorney and what school I went to. Oh, okay, I can tell you. Thank you for asking. So I went first to New York University, NYU, and I actually was going to be a doctor first. And I majored in biology and linguistics. So I graduated in 98 from NYU with biology bachelor's and a linguistics minor. And then I took like a year off and I went to Fordham Law School, also in New York City. Fordham Law School. I graduated in like 2001. I have New York and New Jersey, both states, bar admissions. I'm also admitted in federal courts and in the U.S. Supreme Court, which I had to actually apply separately. I had to get sponsored and I had to go in person to get admitted to the U.S. Supreme Court. So I've been practicing law since 2002 in New Jersey and 2003 in New York. My office is in Brooklyn. I have four other lawyers working for me and another like 20 people of supporting staff. So we have a really good team, paralegal, assistants, financial department, all that good stuff. So if you guys come, the good thing about working with us is you have more than one set of eyes on your case all the time. So we make sure nobody forgets anything, nobody misses anything. We are very good. We win most of our cases. And if you remember, we just discussed earlier in the show how few people get green cards. Well, most of our clients, I would say like 95, 96%, win and get green cards. We're very good. So I recommend that you call us if you have an immigration problem. Our phone number is 718-769-6352. All right. Hermana Wambo says, hi, Marina. I requested to expedite my asylum interview on February and it was approved, but they still didn't expedite it until today. I haven't received my interview notice. What can I do? Case was filed in February 2016. You have to wait. You can call your senator. You can also ask to be connected to the USCIS ombudsman. They assist sometimes. I mean, you just have to be a little patient. I know it's really hard. I know. I understand. But hopefully it will come soon. Hannah Vale says, hello, madame. How long does it take for a waiver to be approved of a crime committed 20 years ago? Waivers, I'm going to share my screen again. Here we go. We go over here, I-601 waiver, form is waiver. Nebraska Service Center, it's taking 23 months for waiver to be approved. You ask how long? It's about 23 months. I've seen it more sometimes. If you put here, like if you have an interview and it's going to go to your local field office, the waiver, so also 23 months. So it's about 20 3 months. I just, okay, so the case processing time for the waiver. How I did this, I go to form I-601 for the waiver. It's a waiver, and I put in the Nebraska Service Center first, and over here, you see 23 months. Okay, that's how I check how long anything takes to process. Plus, of course, we know from our own clients. Okay, Adus Abubakar says, Mamita Rahman, my love, I love you. Okay. Francois Bonneau says, marriage. I'm 65-year-old from Canada. Woman is 63 years old from USA. When to kept her apartment. How is it possible to get a green card and eventually become a U.S. citizen without living together? I can't think of anything, Francois. You're gonna have to live together, and I mean, she can file for you as a fiance. That's it. If you're in Canada right now, also if you have a company to sponsor you for a special TN for Canadians visa, you could come here. But if you're already here and you overstayed and you've been here without status for a while, marriage and living together is the only thing. Shani Sumro says, how long does it take to get a work permit and travel documents while filing for WAWA? I would say about a year. Give yourself about a year. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but about a year. Oh, Kamuji says, hello, good morning, my favorite lawyer from Atlanta. Kamuji is from Atlanta. Um, Joseph says he missed the beginning today because he was at work. That's not a problem. You're here. Well, Muji says, if you get a notice of your work permit EAD approval, how long before you get your work permit? It takes 3-4 weeks, sometimes less. Sometimes it usually comes like within 2-3 days. It depends. And Joseph always sends me these hearts. Good morning, my lovely friend Lloyd. He is, by the way, I don't know Joseph in real life. He follows our show. He's my biggest fan. Thank you so much. And he comes almost every week here. Francois says that he is in the US since 2005, overstayed his O1 visa, only to get married and live together. I'm sorry, Francois. You cannot not live with your spouse. They won't give you a green card if you don't live under the same roof. Tatiana says, hi, Marina. If my asylum was denied and now I'm waiting for the final hearing, basically, this act work for me. I don't know yet. I was thinking about this. I get a lot of questions about this because there's a lot of people that are waiting for asylum before court proceedings and also already in court proceedings. And also before it. I'm not sure. I don't know yet. We'll see how far they want to extend their hospitality. Let's see it from Instagram. Lola Mumamia says, do I think there's actually a chance that Ukrainians will get green card? I think so. I think so. USCIS is giving Cubans green cards. Afghanis are getting green cards. They're trying to mirror this Ukrainian Adjustment of Status Act, the Green Card Act, the green card law for Ukrainians, like the Afghani Adjustment of Status, or Afghanistan Act. So I think there's a chance, and I think that they're going to use the Afghanistan Act and the Cuban Adjustment Act as like the sample of this. All right, moving on YouTube. Happy Life says, hi, Tim. Thank you for helping us. Can you guess how long it takes to get an advanced parole? Guess what? I don't have to guess. I don't have to guess. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you how you don't have to guess either. You go to processing times on USCIS, the official website, uscis.gov/processing-times. You get You were interested, I'm just double checking. You're interested in advance parole, right? So I go and I look up I-131. That's the form for advance parole. And I look up advance parole and I find, let's say your advance parole ends up in the National Benefit Center. There's a few centers, but this is one of them, the main one. Okay, the advance parole takes 11 and a half months. If your advance parole is in Nebraska Service Center, it takes 9 months. If it's in Vermont, it takes 7.5 months. So between 7 to 11 months right now. And let's see, what if you're in Texas? Okay, so 18 months. Depends where you are. It could be 7 to 18 months to get the advance parole. All right. I hope you got how to check that. Okay, so 18 months if you're in Texas and you're looking up advanced parole in the processing times. Okay, Organic says, hi Marina, I passed my citizenship interview. All of my documents were correct, including taxes. So I was asked to add evidence and bring another document about taxes. The reason is because sometimes they want to see not just taxes, but transcripts of your taxes. So they give you a letter, and the letter should say where to mail it. It's usually you mail it directly to the officer who interviewed you with the request on top and the papers they asked for on the bottom. Okay. You already mailed it. Uh, okay. Hold on. My interview took about 40 minutes. He says that I was asked to bring another detailed document about the taxes, saying that they will mail me. So what's going to happen is they should mail you a letter that's like a request for evidence. The letter will say where you should mail and what you should mail, but probably they want transcripts of your tax returns. I hope that you already called the IRS or went online and downloaded those IRS transcripts, and you can send them to them. Oh, unless they ask for something else. Pedro says, great video. Oh my God, thank you so much. By the way, guys, if you're not a subscriber or follower, please follow my YouTube channel. If you like this video, if you're watching, put a little heart under it. It really helps me get the word out to more people so they can watch it when they're free later in the day. And not like you guys who can do it live, but maybe they'll watch it later. But if I have a lot of likes, to show that you like this content, you like watching this, they will watch it too. And the more comments, also the better. So please feel free to like the video. Please become a follower and share this video with your friends too. Please. Vital L says, hello, how long does it take to get the green card for the EB2 national interest waiver in 2043? And can you actually realistically get the national interest waiver for a software developer? Thank you. So I have gotten people in the software industry, IT industry, software developers, national interest waiver green cards. It's possible, but it's like a sculpting process. When we talk to you, you're gonna have to show how you come here while Yahoo and Amazon and Google are laying off people, but you are different somehow. It's a lot of really good lawyering that we need to do for you, and it's possible. Now, how to check how long it takes? Uh, let's go over here to processing times, and the form is I-140, and it's based on EB2. I don't know that's going to be here. Let's look up this one because it's approximately how long it takes. Okay, it's going to take you only 3 months to hear back from them. And if you are in Texas, It's 4. So up to 4 months to get the results. It's pretty quick. It's not like there's thousands and thousands of these cases every year. It's pretty quick. You will have your results very quickly, and then we go from there. We Please give us a call and do a consultation, Vitali or Vital L, because we actually specialize not just in asylum and VAWA, but also in this national. Okay, Angel CJ says, hi Marina, my question is my mom petitioned for me and my priority date 2013, but my visa application now is 2015. My question is if it's okay to can I change status now, but over, okay. So your mom's priority date was 2013, and they're now working already on 2015, which means you have a visa if you want it. It's available for you. Um, well, unless, yeah, it sounds like you filed your petition. Your mom filed in 2013, and that now U.S. Department of State is working on cases filed already later after yours, 2015. You cannot change status in U.S. because you overstayed here. So it's very sad. You can try to do a waiver, and if that gets approved, then you can go for the interview. You're gonna have to leave U.S. You're not gonna be able to do this in U.S. Okay. Pedro Ramirez says, I'm in California. I've been here 30 years. My lawyer only helped me with asylum, but I was denied. Now we filed for appeal. Sorry. Mohammed says, I have VAWA C9 category. I did the biometrics for my green card and VAWA in April 2023, and I did it twice. I don't know what that means. Kamuji says that he's the big fan. Thank you so much. I'm your big fan. Hannah says, please, what is the fee charge for a waiver to be applied? What is your fee if we apply through your firm? The government fee for a waiver, I-601, is $930. You can call it. So back to your question, Hannah. You can call us. Our consultation is $295, and we can discuss the waiver. Can Nigerian people get TPS? Someone told me there's no TPS for Nigerians, though. Is it true? Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again. This is how I really want you guys to see how easy it is once you know what to look for to go on the website. So you go to uscis.gov. You go to the TPS page, okay? This is the TPS page, and here are the countries. Nigeria is not on the list of temporary protected countries. Look. So here are the countries. It's Afghanistan, Burma, Cameroon, El Salvador, Ethiopia, Haiti, Honduras, Nepal, Nicaragua, Syria, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, Ukraine, Venezuela, and Yemen. Nigeria is not a TPS country. I'm sorry. Okay. Code 1 says, hello, thank you for your help. Please, how the green card mediate request for evidence look like? Can I get the 10-year green card after 18 months of marriage? You need to first get the 2-year conditional green card. Once you get the 2-year conditional green card based on marriage, you look at the green card, and from that date, you add 2 years and you file for removal of conditions. You file the form I-751 less than 90 days before the expiration of the 2 years. And then you wait and you get your 10-year green card. If you've been married more than 2 years at the time of your marriage, like adjudication, you might straight away get the 10-year green card, if that's what you're asking. Samvel is asking, we applied for asylum in 2017, and in 2011, my mother-in-law applied for a married daughter reunion. If green card time comes faster than the asylum interview, will we be eligible? The answer is no, sadly. Thank you, Pedro. Uh, okay, Code One says, are the U.S. borders closed for people for asylum, or is it an easy way to get USA by asylum without crossing the border? So to get to US with asylum, you have to come to Mexico, download the CBP1 app, CBP1 app, apply on the CBP1 app, get an interview for asylum at the border, prove you couldn't stay or ask for asylum in any of the countries you stayed in or passed on the way, and then you will be able to enter and get asylum. Francois says, thank you. I really appreciate your generosity. See you next time. See you next time. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be doing this next Wednesday because I will be traveling. But 2 weeks on Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will see you again, Francois. Join us again. Thank you. And follow my YouTube channel here. Okay, Organic says, do you know how much time it takes to get the mail to send the wanted document when they ask something like that? It's not a denial, first of all. They usually mail you within 4 or 5 weeks. So just give it a little more time, all right? Okay, I think I will just check for questions on Instagram, and I'm going to be wrapping up with you guys. Lola Mormia says, is the both CPS and humanitarian parole or United for Ukraine only? I think for everyone from Ukraine, even people who are here, you know, just without TPS, but it's going to be for TPS, for humanitarian parole, and United for Ukraine, because United for Ukraine is also humanitarian parole. All right, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks again. Bye-bye.